When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Count on. Hey, we just want to say to all you other drivers out there, if you smell a delicious, crispy smell after the race, it's not your tailpipe, it's a little bit of yank and then fake. Shake it back. That's what you say. Get used to hearing it.
How about that? How about last night? How about Baker Mayfield coming in 10 minutes prior to the game with the Las Vegas Raiders and bringing our Rams back to glory, or back to the win column, as I should say. The Rams, as you can see on your screen, as I'm sure you've known by now, was victorious last night on primetime Thursday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders. They came to town and won by a final score of 17-16, 1 point, which brings our record back up to 4-9. Not the greatest, but it is what it is, and drops the Raiders 5-8 to 5-8, and ends their 3-game winning streak, which now they are drop even further into the playoff race. They were, from my understanding, they were in the hunt. They weren't in the playoff picture as of right now, but they were gaining steam. But the Rams and Baker Mayfield said, "I don't think so, Raiders," and smacked them back down into the in the hunt category, which would probably mean they're not going to make the playoffs this year, but we do not know. There's still games to be played. However, it was a great win. It was a great win, and I got to tell you, this is probably the most excited I've been about the Rams since we won the Super Bowl back in February of this year. Mind you, we won the Super Bowl this calendar year. I know that may be a little hard to believe, but it was true. Back in February, this past February, for the 21 season, we won the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals, and it has been downhill from there. Okay, and it's I don't need to explain to y'all. Y'all know what happened, but we were on the midst of a 6-game losing streak, and it was just one of those situations where the Rams, unfortunately, had a bunch of injuries, one of which was their QB1, Matthew Stafford, had some concussion issues, had some spinal issues, and is out for the year. I'm interested to see what happens with him. We'll see. But it left us with a hole at quarterback, and we had several discussions about John Wolford or Bryce Perkins, who should start. I was okay with both. I preferred John Wolford myself, though both were pretty below average. Unfortunately, they were very much below average, and the quarterback play suffered and was horrible for these past 6 games. But the Rams got Baker Mayfield in the waiver wire, and with 1 day of practice, he came in, led us to a 13-point comeback win in the fourth quarter over the Raiders. And I haven't really cheered watching the Rams at all this season, but I cheered last night. It was late, and being someone from the East Coast, you got to stay up to watch these games, but it was very fun. It was very fun to see, and the story of the game is Baker Mayfield, okay? My overall thoughts of the game is pretty much I was very pleased with what I saw from Baker Mayfield. He was the biggest question mark, and the game ultimately started with Wolford starting. They went 3 and out. Sean decides to put Baker Mayfield in, okay? Baker had just arrived, okay? 10 minutes prior, okay? He got himself a jersey, okay? He went onto the field, Okay, he was feeling a little dangerous. Okay, he was feeling a little dangerous, and he, dude, and like honestly, do you when y'all watch football games, do you sometimes feel? Do you just sometimes feel like things are gonna go well? It's hard to. It's really hard for me to properly like articulate and explain that. But there are times where because I was in a good mood for this game. I was, Baker Mayfield's coming in. Everyone's clowning on the Rams. Everyone's clowning on Baker. And even me, I really just didn't follow Baker that much. I don't really watch the other teams outside of the Rams, but he very much underwhelmed, and I wasn't too impressed with Baker's football play. But so it was kind of like meh. I was like meh, when we signed them. But for whatever reason, when the game started, I felt good. Okay, I felt like good things were going to happen tonight, and I can't explain exactly why I felt this way, but I did. Okay, and sure enough, okay, Baker's first pass, okay. I don't even know. It was like a 20-yard completion, I think, to Van Jefferson. I could be wrong, but it was like something like that. And the ball looked so crisp. It was very it was very quick. The release was quick. It was crisp. He had the strength. Okay. Unfortunately, Wolford didn't have the arm strength. All right. Mayfield has the arm strength, and you could tell the ball just zipped out of his hands and it got right to the receiver. It looked like a pro quarterback, okay? And when he made that completion, I'm like, here we go. Here we go. And the game, honestly, was a boring one for the most part. To most people, I enjoyed it, but it was kind of a slog of a game. All right, you have we have our practice squad players playing at most positions, and you have Baker Mayfield, who had just come in, 15 minutes prior to the stadium and just put on a jersey, so he was still kind of learning the plays and stuff. But and the Raiders, it was just a slog of a game. The Raiders had the lead the entire game up until like the last like 10 seconds, no bullshit. The Raiders led this football game up until like the last like 10 seconds of the game. No bullshit. And pretty much it was just a slog of a game. They score a touchdown first. All right. They score a touchdown. They're up 7-zip. And then, Baker makes some good throws, but we just can't get moving. We just can't get a drive going. And it's punt, 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 punt. And but our defense played well. I have to give them credit. I'm still not too happy with Raheem's style of defense, but they played good last night. I have to give the defense credit. They played really well last night. Was very happy with some of the depth position pieces, specifically on the D-line. I thought they did great. Well, they did good. I wouldn't say great. I would have liked to see more pressure, but they were good. They shut them down for the most part and held the Raiders to field goals, okay? Held them to field goals as opposed to touchdowns, and that saved us in this game, all right? We had Ernest Jones, our middle linebacker, got a pretty sweet interception, a one-handed interception in the red zone when we needed it, right before halftime, okay? And it was that was very much well needed because goddamn, if they would have scored a touchdown on that drive, that probably would have been a wrap. But honestly, he got the interception. They got away with no points. Okay, that's when I'm like, okay, we're in the game. We're in the game. As bad as we look, and as frustrating as it may seem to watch sometimes, the score of the game is still really close. So I still felt good watching it throughout the game. Okay, and the second half comes around. Okay, second half comes around. And, the third quarter was a slog once again. The Raiders, our defense stepped up. It was like, our defenses were shutting each other out. And then comes the end of the game, okay? It was a slog up until there was Lord, we go on like a 9-minute drive when there's like 15. It's like I don't even know. I don't even know. We go, but Baker leads us on a slow, time-consuming drive, which was necessary because the Raiders were hogging the ball all first half. Okay, it was irritating me, but we were able to get a long drive. Baker leads us down. Okay, we score a touchdown. Cam Akers scores a touchdown. He makes up for that dumb ass fumble, which had me fuming in the first half. All right, it was. I was not pleased. I was all about benching Cam Akers after that. I'm like, I'm done with you. Be gone. Be gone then. Be gone if you're going to fumble away like that. Okay? But Cam Akers came through in the clutch later in the game. All right? And he did score on this drive. So I was happy about that. All right? The score is now, it was 16-3 the entire game. After this score, it was 16-10. Okay? 16-10. Damn, man. It was like 3 minutes left. Our defense needed to make a stop, okay? And remember last week, this soft zone, weak-ass zone defense that gives people 10 yards a clip? You know, I was hoping, please don't do that, Raheem. We need the ball back, and we only have 3 minutes left. We can't be killing time here. And to their credit, they stopped them, okay? I think they picked up maybe one first down, but then afterwards they were able to stop them and give the ball back to us. And basically, Baker Mayfield, okay, after arriving to the stadium, after arriving to LA, after arriving to SoFi Stadium, okay, 20 minutes prior to the game starting, all right, is looking at, he has about a minute and some change, I think it was like a minute 40, okay, he has 98 yards, okay, and that was some bullshit too, all right, the Raiders punt, and how the hell does the ball only bounce straight back in a clean line? Okay, they usually bounce like side to side, but no, not this. Not when the Rams are involved. The ball bounces down the sideline straight all the way back to the 2-yard line. It was some bullshit, bro. It was some bullshit because you had the Raiders player dancing. You know, they were clowning and they were smiling, and the punter was doing something with his finger. I don't know what he was doing. He was smiling. It was all smiles. Everyone was having a good old time. They were just having a good old time. Okay? And they pinned this back on the 2-yard line. But what does Baker do? Baker, okay, leads us down the field, okay, and wins the game for us. All right? He leads us down and coming in clutch, throws it up to Van Jefferson, who scores with like 30 seconds left, all right? With no timeouts, mind you. Okay, it was so I haven't felt like this since the playoffs, dude. I was so locked into this game. It was crazy. But we had some penalties go our way, which I don't even feel bad about because the penalties were they were very much for the Raiders the entire game. So I don't even feel bad about that at all. So a few penalties did go our way, okay, at the end of the drive. And Baker made some good throws. I'm very proud of Tutu, very proud of Van, very proud of Ben Skowronek. Coming in clutch with a big-time grab in the middle of the field, all right? Very proud of Brian Allen because Brian Allen and Sean helped Baker with the plays. They came through. Very proud of both of them. Both Sean and Brian Allen, our center. Okay, that was a very good job by them. Baker throws it up, gets the touchdown. Rams are up with like 10 seconds left. We kick it. They're not able to do anything. We win the game. Beautiful. Thing of beauty. And I'm sitting here going, I have not seen, if y'all saw the sidelines of the Rams after Baker scored the touchdown, I have not seen that team so energized like that in so long. People were bouncing. There was smiles. They looked like they were having fun. You know, Baker headbutted a guy with a helmet. He didn't have a helmet. I think Rochelle had a helmet and he like headbutted him in jest, I guess. I don't know. But Sean, you know, looked like he was finally relieved. He's like, thank Christ, I just won a game. Thank you, Lord. And it was just amazing. It was awesome, and I'm very much looking forward to Baker Mayfield in the last 4 games, because if things work out, okay, I'm getting a feeling Baker wants to stay here. We can get ourselves a good, solid number 2 quarterback with the chances of him taking over someday. That's the best case scenario. But I won't get too far ahead of that. I'll talk about that later. But that's just my overall thoughts on the game. Boring ass game. Boring game. But it was fun seeing a new quarterback play well. Okay. It was a cool story for Baker. Okay. I love the moxie. I do. I really do. That's what we need. We needed this team needed a spark, dude. We were like dead men walking. Okay. It was like there was no energy around the Rams. There was no energy at all. Even for me, dude, there was like no energy. But Baker provided a spark, and I'm very pleased with how for watching the Rams the remainder of the season. We play primetime again. We play Monday night against the Packers. So that's going to be fun. But I'm going to cut it off here. Very, very pleased with the team. Very proud of them. Very proud of Baker. Very fun to watch. The Rams were very fun to watch. That's a key takeaway here. And the offense, there's just a spark. And I think if we can end the season the right way, we can build and regroup for 2023, for next year. And we can come back with a vengeance. I firmly believe that. Firmly believe that. But that's going to be it. Catch you guys on the next one. And as always, y'all, as always, go Rams. Feeling dangerous. Go Rams.